In a quiet, sleepy town, there was a large, old house that had stood empty for decades. The townspeople spoke of strange noises and eerie shadows that seemed to appear and disappear in the windows at night. Despite these tales, the house remained unsold until one day, a young couple, Emily and Tom, decided to buy it. Emily and Tom were excited about their new home. The house had a grand, antique charm with its high ceilings and elaborate woodwork. As they began unpacking, they came across an old mirror in the attic. It was large and ornate, with a dark, intricate frame. Emily thought it would look perfect in their hallway. That evening, after they had settled in, Emily and Tom admired the mirror. As night fell, Emily felt a chill in the air. She shrugged it off and went to bed, but as she was about to fall asleep, she heard a strange, low growling noise. She tried to ignore it, but the growling grew louder. Finally, she got up to investigate. When she reached the hallway, she was startled to find the mirror's surface rippling like water. She rubbed her eyes, thinking it was just a trick of the light, but the ripples continued. Suddenly, the reflection in the mirror changed. Instead of showing the hallway, it showed a dark, shadowy room filled with menacing eyes and twisted shapes. The growling sound was coming from the mirror, growing louder and more frightening. Emily called out for Tom, who rushed out of the bedroom. Together, they stared at the mirror, their faces pale with fear. The shadowy figures in the reflection began to take shape, revealing a monstrous creature with glowing red eyes and long, sharp claws. Tom reached out to touch the mirror, but as his hand approached, the monster's claws seemed to reach out too. Emily screamed, and Tom pulled his hand back just in time. Determined to get to the bottom of this, Tom decided to research the history of the house. In the town's old library, he found a dusty journal with faded pages detailing a horrifying story. The journal spoke of a previous owner who had become obsessed with dark magic. In a desperate attempt to gain eternal power, the owner had trapped a monstrous spirit inside a mirror, hoping to control it. Instead, the spirit grew stronger and more malevolent. The journal warned that the spirit would grow restless and try to escape when disturbed, and it would need a new host to carry out its vengeance. Tom and Emily realized with horror that they had accidentally awakened the spirit by moving the mirror. That night, as they prepared to sleep, the growling noise began again, more intense than before. Emily and Tom knew they had to act quickly. They carefully covered the mirror with a heavy, dark cloth and tried to ignore the sinister sounds coming from behind it. In the dead of night, the cloth was suddenly ripped off the mirror by an unseen force. The mirror's surface now showed not only the hallway but a dark figure looming in the reflection, its eyes locked on them. Tom and Emily knew they had to get rid of the mirror. They decided to call in a local historian who specialized in supernatural phenomena. The historian confirmed their fears and performed a ritual to banish the spirit trapped in the mirror. After the ritual was complete, the mirror was carefully wrapped and taken away, and the house returned to its quiet state. The growling ceased, and the oppressive feeling that had hung over the house disappeared. Emily and Tom were relieved but wary. They knew that they had narrowly escaped a terrible fate. From then on, they lived cautiously, always remembering the terrifying experience with the mirror and the monster trapped within. And so, the house remained quiet and still, its dark secret hidden away.